Hello everyone! So today let us discuss the properties of matter, the solid, liquid, and gas. So on my first slide, I have here a link where you can read and analyze a presentation that have given, and after that there's a short activity that I'm sure that you will find it more interesting for our topic for today. Now let's go unlocking of difficulties. So first we have volume. When we say volume, it is the amount of space in a given object. And then the mass. When we say mass, it is the amount of matter in an object. Then we have shape. Shape is the physical appearance of an object. Then we have definite volume and shape. It refers, when we say definite, it is the constant or unchanging. Okay? Unchanging. So when we say definite volume and shape, it means that the volume and shape will never be changed. And when we say indefinite volume, when we say indefinite, it means that it can change. Okay? So it means that the volume and shape can change. Okay? So again, when we say definite, it is unchangeable. When we say indefinite, it can be changed. Next, we have is a flow. When we say is a flow, it is the state of liquid or gas to flow, or the fluidity. Okay. Next. Now let's try to find what are the properties of solid. So solid are objects that have definite mass, shape, and volume. Again, when we say definite, it means that it cannot be changed. So the mass, the shape, and volume of a solid cannot be changed. Why? Because a solid retains its shape no matter where it is placed. The particles in a solid are very close to each other. These particles move very little. They move in place. This is why solids have a definite shape. When we say definite, again, it means that it will never change or unchangeable. When As it says, a solid has a definite mass, shape, and volume because the particles inside are very tight. It is a very compact, and that's why the molecules or the particles, it's hard for them to move freely. So that's why they are very close to each other, or they're very compact. That's why they never change. They always stay the same. So this this is the example of, for example, these circles are the particles. As you can see, the particles are very close to each other. That's why the particles, it is kind of hard for them to move. And these are the arrangement of particles of a solid substance or a solid object. Next, the solid materials or object have space and volume. The volume of a solid can be measured in a unit called cubic centimeter. Okay, so when we say cubic centimeter, it is a very small unit of measure. Okay, it is smaller than an inch or a millimeter. Okay. Ayan. Okay, so for example, we want to find the volume of the point of this ball pen. Okay, we can use the cubic centimeter in finding the volume of the point of this ball pen. Okay, so if we want to find the volume of object, we have here a formula. Okay, we can use the length times width times height. For example, here I have here a small block which is the length is 2 centimeter, the width is 3 centimeter, and the height is 1 centimeter. So we will just going to multiply them. So we have 2 times 3 times 1. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. So we have V, which is volume, equals 6 cubic centimeter. Do not forget the cubic centimeter, the unit. Next, the volume of an irregular shape solid is determined by measuring the amount of water it displaces. This method is known as water displacement method. So when we say displacement, something that move into place. Okay, so for example here, I have here a small stone. So if I wanted to find the volume of this stone, I will just put it in the water. Okay, so for example, the the initial water level, my initial water level is 150 milliliter. Okay, after I put the stone inside this tube, the water level become 180 milliliter. Okay, so we will just have our formula, which is the new water level minus the initial water level. So in our new water level, which is 180 milliliters, minus the initial water level, which is 150 milliliters, difference of this is 30 milliliter. So the volume of the stone is 30 milliliter. Next, solid has also mass. Different weighing scale or balances can be used to measure the mass of an object. Some picture of tools are given on the right side. So how are we going to measure the mass of an solid? So these are example of a measuring balance. For example, this one we can find this, or we can see this one in some supermarket. Also this one. Okay, so this one, it is used in the laboratory. Okay, also this one. Now, let's find the properties of a liquid. So liquids have definite mass and volume, but do not have definite shape. Okay, they take the shape of their containers. Liquid move freely because there are little spaces between the liquid particles. These characteristics also allows liquid to take the shape of their containers. Okay, so liquid has a definite mass and volume. Again, when we say definite, it means that it is unchangeable. It will never be changed. Okay, so the volume and the mass of the liquid will never be changed, but its shape can change. Why? Because there are the particles of a liquid has a much a wider, or they have a much more spaces, okay, in between the liquid particles. So that's why they can move, okay, more than the solid. Okay, so these are the example of particles. As you can see, they have a much more spaces than the solid, because solid again has their particles are very tight, very close to each other, unlike the liquid, which has much more little spaces in between. So liquid has volume. A graduated cylinder is used to measure the volume of liquid. The volume of liquid may be expressed in liters or milliliters. Okay, so these are the examples. So this tube is called as a graduated cylinder. And as you can see on this side, there, these are the units. Okay, we can measure the volume of a liquid in liters or milliliters. So for this one, it has a 10 milliliters, and while in this one, it has a 20 milliliters. Liquids has mass also. Like solid, you can also get the mass of liquid simply using the weight by simply using the weighing scale or balance. Just subtract the mass of the container and get the exact mass of liquid. So on my examples, these are the way on how we can measure the mass of a liquid. Okay, you will just first measure the mass of the container. Okay, so for example, you have this container. Okay, you just have to measure first its weight. Then, after that, if you put it in here in the weighing scale, just like that, you have to minus now the new weight or the new measure. That's how you can find the mass of a liquid. Next, we have the special property of liquid, which is the ease of flow. Okay, so there are some liquids that can be easily flow, just like a water, a juice, vinegar, soy sauce, and soft drinks. Can you tell me some more examples of a liquid that can easily flow? Okay, that's right. Of course, if there are some liquid that can be easily flow, there are also some liquid that do not easily flow, or they flow very slowly, just like the honey, ketchup, and chocolate. Can you give me an example of liquids that move very slow or that flow very slow? Okay, thank you. Next, now let's find the properties of a gas. Gas have indefinite mass, shape, and volume. Again, when we say indefinite, it means that it is changeable or it can change. So, as it says, gas can change its mass, its shape, and volume. They spread out to fill their containers. Gas are very easy to compress. Gas particles move more freely and spread more rapidly than liquid particles. It has wider spaces between them than solid or liquid particles do. These characteristics allow gas to flow freely and take any shape and volume. So as you can see, these particles has much wider spaces than the solid and liquid. That's why they can move freely. They can go wherever they want. So for example, um, I have here, I have this water bottle. Okay, if I open it, the gas can move inside. Okay, and it can fill this water bottle. Okay, we may not able to see it. Okay, but the gas has already put or the gas has already inside this water bottle. Okay, it can fill each shape. Okay, it has also mass. How can we say that the gas has a mass? Okay, we can use weighing scale or a balance to measure the mass of a gas. Okay, so for example, I have a balloon. Okay, I have a balloon. First, I will measure the balloon without a gas inside. Okay, I will measure first the the balloon, and then after I measure it, for example, um, its weight is a 5 gram. Okay, 5 gram. And then, after I blow the balloon, okay, I will tie it. And then again, I will put it in the balance or in the weighing scale. And then, I'm going to get the new measurement. Okay, so for example, it comes up with 7 grams. Okay, now you have to minus the new weight minus the initial weight, which is the 5 grams. So now we have a 2 gram. So the mass of that balloon is 2 gram. So that's how we can measure the mass of gas. Okay, so as it says, it has indefinite volume. So how can we say that there is indefinite volume? Okay, we can't see gas, right? So what um or how many gases that can be put in here can also, if I pour it out, it has also same amount of air. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so the gas has a very again, it has the particles of the gas has very wide. Okay, very wide. That's why it can move freely. And it also a flow. Okay, so there the special characteristic of gas, it can have odor. Okay, so there are gases that can have odor just like a chlorine. Now, can you give me other examples of a gas that have odor? Okay, of course, if there are gas with odors, there are also gas without odors, just like the helium, water vapor, and oxygen. Can you give me more examples? Okay, that's right. Now, let's all compare their properties. Okay, so first solid, liquid, and gas. Let's compare their shape. So solid has definite shape and liquid have indefinite shape, while gas has indefinite shape. Solid have definite volume, liquid have definite volume, and gas have indefinite volume. Solid has definite mass. Liquid have definite mass. Gas has indefinite mass. So now, let's have an example of solid. So example of solid are chairs and pencil. Can you give me more example of solids? Okay, that's right. Now, let's have an example of liquid. We have water and milk. Can you give me your example of liquid? Okay, now let's have an example of gas. I have air and helium. Can you give me your example of gas? Okay, good job. Okay, so that's right. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something today. So thank you everyone. Goodbye.